So yesterday I just put up a video about an unboxing with the Pluto and the Hades and the Hybel Menace. And that's actually way out of order. I moved it up because the Hades is brand new, and yes, I'm riding on the coattails of the newness. But hey, I mean, people want to know about this knife, so who am I to do them that disservice? So if you see any mention of knives that I haven't talked about yet, that's because I uploaded things out of order. I will do that again in the future because I will have some pass around knives, which is really exciting. But let's talk about the Hades by TOA. So the Hades is a titanium balisong. It is sandwich. It has this really cool hollow grind blade, and it's got this floating spacer system that's suspended by 5 brass pins. Apparently, you can have those pins removed, or you can remove up to 4 of them. So I've heard, and I guess that would theoretically make it lighter, but that would also probably make it blade biased because it honestly feels pretty neutral when I flip it. There is some jimping on the spacer. You know, I should probably have a more organized thing about this, but there's a little bit of jimping on the spacers. It is a floating spacer system. I find the jimping not super duper helpful. The biggest things of note with the Hades are that it is actually, sorry, let me close the Pluto. It's actually got a slightly tapered handle, and it's very chunky. Kind of like the Solo, actually. I only flipped the Solo a little bit, which was at the meetup. But let's see, Hades, TOA, and I know that these are available on Shop TOA. I got mine secondhand from someone who is originally from China. So mine is actually a different serial number. It's like 96 out of 100, whereas the USA ones are out of 200, I believe. So the other really cool thing about the Hades also is that it has, in my opinion, one of the coolest boxes I've ever seen. I just think this is a phenomenal piece of art. It looks super fucking cool. It says Sovereign Class. I don't actually know what that means. In it, it is magnetic. It has a steel QC card, which is really hard to read, but it tells you everything about the blade. It's S35VN blade and TI6AL4V titanium for basically everything. The Zen pins are 440C steel heat treated, and mine is production alpha. I'm sorry, where is it? I'm trying to pull up more specs of this. Hades. Oh no. Okay, TOA Hades. The hardware is titanium as well. I got it from someone who stripped it, unfortunately, so do be aware that because it's titanium, it is softer than steel. And it is 4.4 ounces, and I would say relatively neutral, but maybe a little bit handle bias, like very mildly so. Now this does matter for some people. The Hades is also unsharpened. That is all dull. I can very comfortably rub my hand at it. Still pointy. I accidentally bought an aerial and I got a little bit doop. That was a bit of an ouchie. Nothing big though. And the blade is really cool. It kind of makes me think of God of War. It has like this sort of indent that makes, I guess it makes chaplains easier. I feel like I can chaplain this pretty comfortably. But what's interesting is also that the bite side, this is the bite side. The bite side, despite also being, you know, not sharpened, you can sharpen this. And Shop TOA offers the sharpening for like $30, which is on top of what is 488.86. It's just under $500. So that puts it roughly in the same price point as like the Cygnus. Something else that I'm not thinking of right now, I bet. But while you can sharpen it, there's like this really raised choil, I suppose, and so it's really wide here. The spine, you know, that's really wide here, but then it tapers inward, which is pretty common. But interestingly, the bite side you can also chaplain on. I would say don't be careful to not do this too much, but because it's unsharpened, I feel pretty safe flipping this pretty wildly and trying to do tricks that I'm not super confident in, like the, let's see if I can do a parabolic. Ouch. I'm not amazing at parabolics yet. Hey, there we go. That was kind of a parabolic. So, yeah. It's got this nice clackiness too. This is a super unorganized video. But yeah, basically you can do bite-side chaplains as well. One thing I like to do is a full twirl. Wow, extended full twirl into a thumb roll into this. And then and now, because it's like safe on both sides, I can do a chaplain on the bite side. Ouch. That's it. Be careful. Because if it is sharpened and you do other tricks outside the chaplain or thumb rolls, you can still hurt yourself. So, because it's unsharpened, nothing major. Handles. Normally I talk about, I'm like just so unorganized right now. These handles have a really nice texture to it. I was worried that, like, one thing I don't like about the Medusa is that I feel like there's nowhere I can really comfortably hold it. The Hades, on the other hand, while it does have like these sort of big cutouts here, it's not too uncomfortable to hold, and there's like surface in the middle of the handles that are nice to hold too. Yeah, and it's just I don't know, it's very distinct looking. One thing that matters to me personally is that I want Balisongs to be able to be recognizable, because if I have to ask, a lot of people just don't ask. They don't say up front what the fucking Balisong that they're selling is. The Hades, I think, is pretty recognizable. It has a distinct blade. It has these distinct handles. I'm planning on getting mine blackened. And it's got, like, the hardware. Honestly, the hardware just looks really nice. And these spacers, I don't know, it's really cool floating spacer system. And if you, for some reason, want it more blade bias, you could do that. I'm not fucking around with disassembling this anytime soon, though. I'm sure my modder will when I eventually get it to him. However long that'll be. Anyways, is this worth $488? I would say, relative to the competition, like, yeah, sure. It is a Chinese-made Balisong. TOA is in China, but it's well constructed. It has, oh yeah, tolerances, rock solid. Like, this is me doing as much strength as I can. It's rock solid. Bushings, of course. It's got a pretty nice clack to it. For a sandwich knife, I think it sounds pretty good. So yeah, this is like roughly on the same cost as a Cygnus, roughly. And frankly, they're very different. Like, if you were like, what should I get? They're so different. This one is over, like, it's like 4.4 ounces. Well, they are both sandwich. They just feel incredibly different in the hand. They flip very differently. This is way chunkier. The Cygnus is smaller and smoother and rounder and has G10 back. Anyways, though, I don't know what other knives are roughly in this, like, price point. I guess the Madco. I like this more than the Madco. I don't own one. I flipped one a little bit before. And there are some other knives. So I guess in its price point, like, I love the Cygnus. I love the Cygnus so much. This is also very good. And there are knives that cost more than this, and I like this more than. So if you can pick one up, ooh, it's already sold out from Shop TOA. That's cool. Because the Zeus, TOA has made two other knives. The Poseidon, which I don't really know much about, but I like the whole pattern. It's basically like just dots mill out the whole way through. And the Zeus, which is an channel aluminum Balisong that I've been interested in trying. But nobody has one, and I don't really want to buy one for full price. There is one that's like textured version, opposed to just being smooth with holes in the pattern. So while the Zeus didn't really sell very well, as far as I can tell, it's still in stock. It has been in stock. It has been put up, I think, on sale for on Shop TOA. The Hades is doing really well, and so should you get one of these? I would say, honestly, yeah, if you like the look of it, it flips well. And I can pretty confidently say that, like, if you like these sort of thick, chunky handles, you like the way that it looks, you want a live blade that won't hurt you, or you do want a live blade, you can sharpen it. Yeah, I don't know. It's gorgeous. It's got this. I just think it's got a beautiful blade, and I think it's fun. It's pretty gas, as the youth say. Anyways, if you like this video, check out the coffee in my description because a couple bucks helps me cover things. I got this in a trade. I didn't buy it outright. I did trade 2 knives, or I traded 1 knife for 2. Yeah, also subscribe. Let me know your thoughts if you have flipped a Poseidon. I guess, I don't know, how do they compare? Do they flip similarly? Like machine-wise knives all have some degree of similarity, whereas like I would say that a Kraken flows very differently from a Nautilus. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on the Hades, if you feel like I missed anything, or you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. And until then, have a good one. So, see you later.